All right, let's dive in. Today, we're going to build something super useful, a health blueprint. Think of it as an owner's manual for your body as you head into your 50s and beyond. The goal here is to cut through all that noise and focus on what really matters.
I mean, seriously, trying to figure out health after 50 can feel completely overwhelming, right? You're buried under this mountain of conflicting advice, and it's confusing. It can feel like a full-time job. So our mission today is simple. We're going to clear the fog and give you a straight, clear path forward. Let's do this.
Okay, first things first. Let's talk about the absolute non-negotiables. These are the essential checkups that the top health experts say you've got to do. Think of this as laying the foundation for that health blueprint we're building. You know, a great way to think about this is like, it's the 50,000-mile service for your body. I mean, you wouldn't skip a major service for your car, right? And your body is, well, infinitely more valuable. The whole point of these screenings is to catch any potential problems early on, when they're way easier to deal with.
So let's break down the big ones. This is straight from the U.S. Preventative Services Task Force, and you'll see how specific this is. Like, for colorectal cancer, they actually recommend starting screening at 45 now. That's a pretty recent change based on new data. And if you have a significant smoking history, that annual lung cancer check is absolutely vital. For guys, the prostate cancer test, well, that's not a blanket recommendation anymore. It's a real conversation you need to have with your doctor. The main thing to get here is that these aren't just random suggestions. They are backed by data and designed to save lives by catching things early.
All right, let's talk about vaccines. They are seriously one of the most powerful tools we have for staying healthy. The shingles vaccine, for instance, is a total game changer. It can prevent a really painful and just awful condition. And the flu shot, I know it feels routine, but it's so important, especially as our immune systems change a bit with age. This isn't just about avoiding a cold, it's about protecting your quality of life.
Okay, so we've covered the official checkups. Now let's shift gears and move from the doctor's office right into your kitchen. Because what you put on your plate every single day has a massive impact on your health, especially as your body's needs start to change.
So here's a really fundamental thing that starts to shift as we get older. Our digestive system, well, it just doesn't work quite as efficiently as it used to. We might produce less stomach acid, for example. And what that means is, even if you're eating super healthy, your body might struggle to pull out all the good stuff, all the nutrients. And that's exactly why being mindful of what you eat becomes even more critical.
And because of that change in efficiency, we can become a little more prone to certain nutrient deficiencies. We're talking about things like vitamin B12, which is just crucial for your nerves and energy. Then you've got vitamin D and calcium. They're like a tag team for keeping your bones strong. And iron. If that gets low, you can end up with anemia, which is a huge reason people feel so tired. So these four, they're definitely the big ones to keep an eye on.
So the obvious question is, should I just start taking a bunch of supplements? And the answer is, not so fast. It's a bit more nuanced than that. While things like vitamin D, magnesium, and zinc are super important and often do need a boost, you can definitely overdo it with others. For instance, too much calcium without enough magnesium to tell it where to go can actually cause problems. And excess iron? The body has a really hard time getting rid of it, so it can even become toxic. The bottom line is, targeted supplementation is smart, but just thinking more is better is not the way to go.
So what are some smart, practical things you can actually do? Well, for starters, make protein a priority. As we get older, we naturally lose muscle mass, and protein is your best friend in fighting that. If you find your appetite isn't what it used to be, try smaller, more frequent meals. It's a great way to get the nutrients you need. And of course, focus on whole foods. You know the drill. Lean proteins, fruits, veggies, healthy fats. Oh, and consider adding in fermented foods like yogurt or kimchi. They can do wonders for your gut health.
Okay, we've talked about the mechanics, the checkups, and the fuel, the nutrition. Now let's get into something that is just as critical, but honestly, often gets pushed aside, the incredible, undeniable connection between your mind and your body's health.
You know, Dr. Eric Berg put it perfectly. He talks about how when you're exposed to too much stress, it kind of gets stuck into your mind. You're trying to sleep, but you can't because you're just worrying. It's not just a mental thing. It becomes a physical state that keeps your body on high alert, 24/7.
And there's real science to this domino effect. When you're stressed, your body pumps out this hormone called cortisol. Now, in a short burst, like if you have to swerve to avoid an accident, that's fine, it's helpful. But when that stress is chronic, just on and on, those high cortisol levels start to suppress your immune system. And that makes you way more vulnerable to getting sick and can even create an environment where more serious issues like autoimmune conditions might start to develop.
So how do you fight back? What's in your anti-stress toolkit? Well, exercise is probably the most powerful tool you have. It literally flushes those stress hormones right out of your system. Just getting outside into nature can be unbelievably therapeutic. Another big one is managing your environment. Maybe that means turning off the 24-hour news cycle. And finally, and this is so important, talk about it. Acknowledging that you're stressed isn't a weakness, it's a huge sign of strength.
This brings us to our last section. And honestly, it might be the most important one of all. This is all about learning to listen to your body, becoming your own best health advocate.
Just look at that number for a second, 170,000. That's how many silent heart attacks are estimated to happen in the US every single year. These are heart attacks that people might not even know they're having. This right here is why learning to tune in and listen to your body's quiet signals is it's not optional, it's essential.
Yeah, we all think we know what a heart attack looks like from the movies, right? The crushing chest pain, the pain down the left arm. But a silent heart attack, it can be totally different. It might just feel like you've been tired for weeks and can't shake it. Or it could feel like a strained muscle in your chest or your back. It could even feel like bad indigestion that just won't go away. And it's really important to know that women, in particular, often experience these less obvious symptoms.
And here's a massive piece of the puzzle. There's this cultural pressure, especially for men, to just tough it out. This stat from the Cleveland Clinic it's staggering. More than 60% of men will avoid going to the doctor even when they feel like something is wrong. But ignoring these little signals from your body doesn't make the problem go away. It just gives it more time to get worse.
So, what's the big takeaway from all of this? It's that your future self is literally depending on the choices you make today. Every checkup you schedule, every healthy meal you choose, every walk you take, think of it as an investment. It's a gift you are giving to the person you're going to be in 5, 10, 20 years from now. So I'll leave you with this question. Your future self is watching. What's one choice you're going to make for them this week? Just one thing. Will you schedule that appointment or just add one more vegetable to dinner? It's not about being perfect. It's about making progress. Thanks for joining me.